Every Sunday morning, my grandmother gave me $1 to put in the offering plate as my tithe to the church. And I did it faithfully. Proudly, I walked down the center aisle to give my dollar. But I would always see the older kids leaving Sunday school and going around the corner to the corner store, and they would come back with snacks. So one Sunday, I decided to use that dollar that my grandmother had given me for my tithe to go around the corner with the older kids to the store. And I did, and I got my snacks, and I came back to the sanctuary, and I started to eat them. Well, before I could get really good into my chew, my Sunday school teacher tapped me on the shoulder, and she gave me the look, and she told me to spit out my snack. I didn't want to spit out my snack. I had just spent the dollar, and it was pretty embarrassing to have her come up to me like that. I didn't realize at the time that she was teaching me a lesson. She was telling me a truth that I didn't want to hear. Later on that day, she came up to me after church and she said, "You know better, Brittany. You know better than to eat in the sanctuary. The sanctuary is where we go to worship God, and we have snacks in the fellowship hall." And I told her, you're right. I did give my offering. I gave it for a snack instead of the offering. And so we talked about my responsibility, that my grandmother gave me that dollar to give to the church, and I should have done that. And so I learned at that time that it is my responsibility to handle my business first, right? And then to play a little later, that there's a time and a place for everything. But even still, at 9 years old, I didn't really understand those words. I understand them a little bit more clearly now at 35. The truth sometimes is hard for us to hear, but it's important that we have the hearts and the minds and the ears that are available to hear what God is telling us. So join us this Sunday as we dive into the Gospel of John, where we learn about what the Spirit of truth may be teaching us. I hope to see you there. Bye.